Dr. Mike Newcomb, host of the Mike Newcomb Show on 1480 KPHX in Phoenix, Arizona, kphx.com. Mike Newcomb, NEWCOMB.net, his website. And, of course, many of you hear Mike regularly when he fills in for me on this show on those rare occasions when I boogie out of town or take off. Mike, welcome back.
Hey, Tom, how are you doing today?
Just great. So, Dr. Mike, fill us in. We are hearing out here in the rarefied bubble era of Washington, D.C., we are hearing that in Arizona, you guys are still counting ballots in Joe Arpaio's district?
Yeah, well, actually, they're counting ballots all over the state, Tom. It's a real travesty. There was about 1.8 million ballots cast total in this state, and of those, there was about 600,000 that, after the election was over, were not counted. So about one-third of the entire vote in this state has actually been, well, it's a little close now, but that's how many were uncounted.
How did that happen?
Right now, as of Saturday, they said there's still about 486,000 votes still uncounted. And of those, Tom, about 300,000 are early ballots, but even more concerning is almost 200,000 of those are provisional ballots, and those are mostly minority voters, too. So there's a cry now for an investigation. A lot of people are saying that the Department of Justice and the Civil Rights Division really need to get involved in this, because it really does seem as though this is a systemic sort of violation of civil rights. I mean, 200,000 ballots, mostly minorities. I mean, that's outrageous.
Is Arizona one of those states that's covered by the 1965 Voter Rights Act
Yes, I believe we are, and I do believe that they had sent out election monitors to Arizona, particularly in Maricopa County, where Sheriff Joe Arpaio is, to monitor the elections, Tom. But even this, outside of all these ballots not being counted and the enormous number of provisional ballots, because here in Arizona, you have to either show photo identification or you have two non-photo forms of ID, whether it's a bank statement, or a bank utility. A utility statement, something along those lines. But if you don't meet those criteria, then a provisional ballot has to be cast. But the onus then, Tom, is that if those provisional ballots are cast, those voters have to show up to the election department by this Wednesday and show another form of ID in order for those provisionals even to be counted. So it's really putting a great burden on the minority voters. And I'll tell you, there's some races that are still outstanding here. I mean, I don't know if, Rich Carmona was a very hotly contested race with Congressman Jeff Flake.
Right.
There's only about 80,000 votes separating them right now. But if you think about it, 200,000 votes, and if they're mostly all minorities, you saw how Hispanics broke here in the country, 75%. I mean, that race technically could very well be in play.
Has Carmona retracted his concession?
I think he did. I think from what we heard out here, he kind of said, well, we're going to now wait until all the votes are counted. And I think precisely because of that math, because it is a statewide race, U.S. Senate, and with 200,000 minority votes still not counted, and if three-fourths of those went to Rich Carmona, now you got a nail-biter. So, there's a lot at stake here in Arizona.
So people who are listening to this program in Arizona who cast a provisional ballot, who were told, sorry, your ID isn't adequate, you have to fill out this ballot rather than a regular one, those people need to do what right now?
They need to get to they need to get online, look at the Arizona Secretary of State's office website, and find out where they need to go in person to basically make sure they have either that photo ID that's valid or the two non-photo IDs, bank statements, utility statements, and have an election official certify that. Otherwise, their vote will be invalidated. It will not count.
Incredible. This is exactly...
It's tragic, Tom, that this is happening here in Arizona.
Well, it's exactly what the American Legislative Exchange Council, ALEC, and the guys who came up with these laws wanted. I mean, this is Paul Wayrick's dream is, as the voting populace goes down, our leverage goes up.
No, and on top of that, our Secretary of State, Ken Bennett, actually, who oversees all the elections, was an official on the Romney campaign and openly supported Romney, which I consider a grave conflict of interest when you have a Secretary of State endorsing a particular statewide candidate.
Yeah, although that was also the case in Ohio and Florida. We should there's a piece of federal legislation, although, again, I don't know if that would run afoul of the 10th Amendment, to simply say the people who are in charge of counting the votes and determining the parameters of voting cannot have an interest in either party. I mean, it's sort of like, if all the refs in the NFL all of a sudden came out in favor of one football team. Right.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah. I mean, it's...
Although sometimes it feels that way when you're an Eagle fan, but...
Okay.
So
what's being done?
We'll keep you posted on this, Tom, but you're right. You did astutely bring that up, that people who did cast provisional ballots, make sure that they go to that Arizona Secretary of State website to find out exactly where they need to go to bring that.
But I'm guessing the Republicans are sitting around going, there's no way 200,000 people are going to take another day off work and go show up and stand in line for another 3 or 4 hours to show their ID so that their vote gets counted.
No, and this is why many people in our community now are calling for an investigation with the Department of Justice and the Civil Rights Division to see if this is systemic voter disenfranchisement, Tom, because that's outrageous. I mean, 1/3 of the votes, were either early ballot or provisional and weren't even counted. And
right.
That's just unacceptable.
And people probably showed up with their voter ID card, the one that they got in the mail from the Secretary of State, thinking, okay, yeah, I'm registered as a voter. Here's proof of it. And it wasn't enough.
And trust me, Tom, with the Senate Bill 1070 that we had, and I know we spoke about on your program, where it would give law enforcement the ability to say if somebody was here legally or illegally based off of their gut, whether or not they look like they were legal citizens, I can guarantee you that same sentiment is what has driven this provisional ballot disenfranchisement here. I mean, I'm sure it's people at home who's looking at people thinking they're people of color, they're probably not citizens, and we're going to put the onus, the burden on.
Real quick question, Dr. Mike. If one of these Republican poll watchers had simply challenged a voter, does that force them into provisional ballot?
Yeah, technically yes. If they just challenged them and felt they didn't have the right ID, then and you're lucky if you even got a provisional ballot. Some of them might not even got provisional ballots and might have been told to go home.
Amazing. Dr. Mike Newcomb for KPHX in Phoenix. Dr. Mike, thank you.